So I've been traveling a lot to Goa in last 3 years. With that, what I realized is that there is something that is missing around the country or the world that is only available in Goa. What is it? Is it the feel of the place? Is it the environment? What is it? I mean, I feel it's an experience that was missing everywhere in the world. And whenever you talk to people who are visiting Goa, especially, they all have certain perception about things that they want to do in Goa. Oh, I want to go to Tito's and have a meal. I want to go to the beach. I want to, I want to taste King's beer. And these are the thoughts that everybody likes to do. I want to chill out. I don't have to put up a facade of wearing good clothes. I can be casual. So these are the things that people look at. And that is where the thought came in. And finally, with after a lot of investment of time and, emotional ideation and discussion, and especially creating a synergy with Impala and Vijay, finally we cracked upon this deal of King's Beer. And with that, we realized that yes, now it's time, after almost 22 years of a brand being and brewed in Goa, going to the world.
I think really it is the time now that the King of Goa is going to be King of India. Okay, and that is amazing. What made you feel about the King's brand? That have you gone ahead and tasted yourself?
Well, I've been tasting King's Beer from almost over a decade from now. Almost the first time I ever tasted King's Beer was in 2004. And like the same way I shared an experience, somebody told me, why don't you try the King's Beer? It's a local beer. It's fun. It's tasty. It's nice. Why don't you try? And that was the first time I tried. But that time there was never a thought that I would want to acquire or get into the brand or do the business of it. But then I always thought that if it is so popular and if it has such a great perception of quality and an experience of Goa, then someday if I have to acquire something, I should acquire something like King's. And finally, after 10 years, that thought actually came true.
That's a brilliant, brilliant thought. A big round of applause for this wonderful venture which is going to be there by Viking Ventures. Sachin, one more thing. You have changed the packaging also.
Yes, what we've done is we have just given a facelift to the brand.
Wonderful. So everyone here is very eager to see the new face of Goa Kings. Also has new jewels, so it is like you're bringing this legacy pan-India, and the King of Goa is going to be the King of India now.
Well, I would ideally want it to be the King of Kings. That's originally the thought. Honestly speaking, what we've done is we've just done a facelift to the product. The original packaging was in black. We tried to change the color to purple, indigo purple is what we've used.
And that's what you're wearing today.
Yeah, that's something, it's going with the brand. And then we've redesigned the whole crown, because now when the king is coming out of Goa and trying to capture the world and India and the world, that's what the thought was. We've added some extra branding of Goa in there, because its origination is from Goa, so it has to be very synonymous. And the other thing that we've done is added elements of gold and tried to use a new style of labeling, which is online, and it has a little embossed effect to the entire branding of the Kings. So that's what we've done with the brand.
Definitely, it certainly looks so appealing that I think
that and excitement is already there amongst the people that we can see. So I don't really see there's no issues.
Yeah, because your company is like the top 3.
Already the top 3rd in the country.
So any special market that you guys are targeting for Goa King?
Goa is number 9 for the brand, so we don't even need to do a lot of it.
Well, I can say on behalf of every beer lover that I'm looking forward to see Goa Kings here, in Bombay. A big round of applause for Mr. Moksani, please. And could you please pass on the mic to Mr. Vijay? How do you feel now that, your product, your king, the king of, actually it's your king of your heart, is going to be available all across India, and your association with Viking Ventures?
First of all, to explain that it was really a great pleasure because the day I met him, I've seen that he's having a lot of, he's so aggressive, like he's planning and whatever he wants to do, like what I've seen in him is that it should be either like, if possible, yesterday for him. So like, and he's so aggressive, like we actually, working with him, we have also gone so much ahead, like in other markets. Like for example, here, we have also produced these other brands, like Triple X and all. And it was actually very important for us, being a brewery in Goa, to expand in other states, because it's not viable to sell only in one state. And being Kings only in Goa, like everybody who comes in Goa, like they knew about Kings. But everybody asked like about Bombay market, Bangalore market. But now with Sachin coming in, like it was easier for us to go in other markets. It's not only the financial strength, but he's also aggressive in the marketing strength also, with work strength coming in also. It's very easy for us for the distribution and other things.
So I think this requires a big round of applause and a big celebration that now Goa Kings is going to be available pan-India because of these three wonderful gentlemen sitting here. Okay, and anything else you would like to add, just to give a message to the youth or people who are awaiting Goa Kings,
Well, I would say the kind of response Kings has been getting for years, with a lot of consumers in Goa, and the love that they've been getting, and whatever they expect out of Kings, we will fall no short in living up to their expectations, and we will make sure that we are available next door wherever you wish to have it, in all the restaurants and the clubs and everywhere that you go. We will live up to everything that they expect, and will definitely exceed the expectation of the consumer.
Thank you so much, Sachin. Ladies and gentlemen, so 3 cheers, okay, to Goa Kings. So hip hip, hip hip, hip hip. Thank you so much for coming here.